Here's how to use AI to hire the perfect team, and we'll get to meet them to see what a great fit they are for my business. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina, and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. On this channel, typically I share with you guys how I upcycle clothes, I remake old clothes into some of the most amazing and epic garments ever. My humble opinion, and sometimes super simple, but they're all typically DIY tutorials. For the 10 years that I've been doing that, you guys have been asking me, when are you going to start your own line? When are you going to have your own brand? When are you going to start your own fashion line? And so I started back in 2020 or 2021 trying to sew myself, and keeping up with the YouTube channel was just too much for me. So I have this office space now, and I finally hired a team, and I could not be happier with the results. I mean, it's just spot on. And I wanted to share it with you guys, anybody else who is afraid of hiring a team. I've hired contractors before, but never anyone who is going to be working in my space. I've been working for myself at home for 15 years. And so I was a little afraid to be working with other people again. So I am just super happy. And I wanted to share the results for anybody else who's looking to hire the perfect team for your business. So I looked at my budget, I knew what I can afford. And so I decided that I wanted to hire 2 people at the beginning, but I was a little bit nervous about how I was going to find them. I decided to use Indeed.com, and this video is not sponsored. I'm just telling you what I did. I used Indeed because it was going to be free. And I know that the majority of people who are looking for employment are on Indeed. And so I felt like that would be my best opportunity to gain more applicants. And I'm so glad I did. So I went on Indeed, and 2 of the things that AI really helped me, specifically ChatGPT, really helped me do was I didn't even know the name of this position. Because it is kind of unique, just saying that I needed a seamstress wasn't really good enough. I wanted somebody with a specific skill set, somebody who was creative, somebody who wasn't just the type of person, because there are a lot of manufacturing companies out there, those who work on the big machines in a sewing shop, and I wasn't necessarily looking for that. So I didn't even know what to call this thing. So I decided to ask ChatGPT. I've been playing around with it, helping me with my captions and different things like that. And I think it's just an excellent tool to help you to get over that hump, maybe to help you get over your imposter syndrome or something that you've never done before. I just think it is an excellent tool. So this is what I asked it. What is a job title for someone who sews garments for an eco-friendly designer? And then it gave me a couple options, as you can see here, but the one I liked the best was sustainable fashion seamstress. And so that's the title I used, and felt like that was really good because it let people know, like, not only was I looking for a seamstress, but I was looking for somebody that was a little bit different than a typical seamstress, and that would cause them, if they were interested in sustainability, to go further and look at the description. But the problem was, when it came to the description, it was like, okay, I know a few things, but we have to add this whole long description because you want it to be really specific if you're going to find the exact person that you're looking for. So once again, I turned to ChatGPT and I asked, can you write a description for a sustainable fashion seamstress who needs to upcycle old garments into new designs, create patterns, and has 3 to 5 years of professional sewing experience? And so this is the job description that it gave me. Of course, I did alter some things that didn't necessarily suit me, but for the most part, this was an absolute amazing description that I actually used to find the perfect people, like literally the perfect people. The quality of the applicants was really good. I was really pleased. Shortly after I posted, within a couple days, I had applicants, and so I went ahead and started setting up interviews. I did set up interviews in my location since it would be a job that they would actually have to come to and not a work from home job. So I wanted to make sure that they knew the drive, because everything in Houston is so far, like everybody's so far from one another. So I wanted to make sure the drive would be okay to them on a regular everyday basis. And it gave me an opportunity to meet them in person and just to see, for them to see the office and to see if that was an environment that they would be willing to work in. So the next thing was for interviews. I've never done in-person interviews for a job for employees, and so I didn't even know what questions to ask. And one helpful thing that I did do, if you're new to this, also look up the questions that you're not supposed to ask by law according to your state. That was something very important to me. You do not want to have any type of legal action coming against you when you're just starting out. So just Google what questions are you not supposed to ask as an employer, and I made sure I steered clear from those. those, but that also let me know that I wanted to have a set list of questions to ask to make sure I didn't stray, because we definitely want to make sure that we have fair hiring practices. So I turned to ChatGPT again and I asked, what are some good interview questions to ask a potential candidate if hiring for a sustainable fashion seamstress position? And it gave me some of the best questions. I threw in a couple others that I did want to know, but questions like what inspired you to pursue a career in fashion, which are basic questions, but it just helps you to go ahead and get over that hurdle more quickly. You're not sitting there forever thinking about how to word these questions, about what questions to ask. And so it was just really helpful. How do you ensure that the garments you create are comfortable and wearable? And then also, do you know how to fit garments on different body types? That's super, super important to me, because you guys know I'm not leaving out any bodies in this collection, and so that was super important to me. So I was able to do that. I also asked them to bring in a garment so that I can physically see and touch their construction, see what type of projects they were into, and that let me know a lot. I was so glad that I did that. That let me know a lot about how they're thinking, the thinking process behind how they do things. All right, so the part that I know that my subscribers have been waiting for, why do I feel like they're perfect for Blueprint Signature? Well, let's meet them and you're gonna see exactly why.
Good morning, America. This is Shell and Tiara. We might have to cut. I'll wait until you give me the job to tell you I ain't got no sense, but if I tell you in the interview.
No, I knew you didn't in the interview. That's part of the reason you got hired.
Like, if I show her my crazy, she gonna give me the job.
And I knew she was trying to bother me.
I was trying to give you refined, church tiara.
You was cracking them jokes on the first day. I'm like, oh Lord Jesus.
I can only hold it for so long, child. I cosplay as normal.
Yeah. Remember when she said she was an introvert?
I am. If the camera's recording, I am.
If the camera's recording,
because people don't believe me.
it's not the truth. It's not the truth.
Jesus, tell the people, because I swear I'm not lying.
She's an introvert, and we just mute.
I feel comfortable to be myself, so
Is anybody hot?
All right, so as you can see, first of all, personality is just off the charts. We have a blast, an absolute blast when we're together here. We all love to eat, so we eat good food. That's just a cherry on top, but they can sew. Like, they take such good care and quality in what they do.
My name's Tiara, and I'm originally from Compton, California, that is. And I've been in Houston for about 5 or 6 months. I am a fashion design graduate. I have a degree in design. I've been designing ever since I was about 10 years old, so just going to school for was kind of like the formality to kind of finalize that. Anything beyond that, I do a lot. I am self-taught in a lot of different things. I work with resin as well, so I do a lot of different art pieces. But as far as design, I did go to school, so I have my A for that. And then any skill set that I have, I've just been working on elevating that beyond school, because school can only take you so far. So it is about what you pour into your own craft and your own skill set. So at this point, I would definitely say I'm advanced, looking to be even more to a higher level. I'm always pushing myself, so I never want to say I've reached the top level of my skill as far as being designing and sewing, because there's always something new to learn. But I do feel like I'm at a pretty good level. If I ever feel like I'm getting on myself about not being at the level I want, I remember and remind myself that I took sewing classes 4 times before I could grasp it. So to get from there to being terrified to turn on a machine to where I can just look at something and make it just like that, I'm very proud to be at the level.
And you guys both do look at stuff, and I have confidence that that y'all can do it. Even if y'all don't have confidence, I have confidence. I have enough overconfidence for everybody.
I appreciate it, because sometimes you be like,
My name is Kay Shell. I've been in Houston for a year now. Oh, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Originally, I studied animal science. That's what I got my bachelor's in. But I was working at a zoo. I didn't really that wasn't really my vibe. So I went back, and then I got my master's in fashion business and entrepreneurship. And then now I'm getting a graduate certificate in digital marketing, but for fashion. So I spent 3 months in Italy. This was in graduate school too, because in undergrad, like, I wanted to study abroad, but like I couldn't get accepted into the programs. But those were like animal programs, so it just wasn't meant to be. But like, as soon as I got in graduate school, I got accepted to study abroad in Italy. And I had an internship with a lady. She owned like a small boutique, and like she sold thrifted items and stuff like that too. And then like during the day, I would follow her around because she was like an image consultant, so she would do personal shopping and stuff like that. So I got to follow her around and do all of that for 3 months. It was amazing. It was fun.
I am simply Bree wants to know, what is your sewing level?
So I'm like a freestyle sewer. I learned how to sew from the 7th grade class, home economics. And then I kind of didn't sew, and then I was just like, let me look on YouTube and get me a sewing machine, and then I just started. So maybe I don't know, I kind of like underplay myself because I know how to sew. I don't know the level. Maybe like, I don't know the level.
One of the things that impressed me about you is that I could tell that you were very big on quality. So, like, a lot of people, when they first start sewing, even myself sometimes, when you showed me the pieces you had made for yourself, and I saw the quality of the pieces you made for yourself. Now, we all know when we make stuff for ourselves, it don't be right. You know, like we cut corners for ourselves. Yeah. But when I saw the pieces you made for yourself, and I could tell you didn't have a serger, but the quality that you put into like the edges and everything without a serger, I was like, okay, we can work with this.
Pulling out my pieces like, look, I made this for myself now.
Exactly. All the edges, made everything look as professional as possible with what she has. So I was like, okay, if we give her all this, she'll fly.
That serger, I need one of those.
Right. Sometimes I'll have in my brain like, oh, I want to tell one of them, to make sure you do such and such, and I'll go back there to tell them, and they're already doing it. And so for me, that just lifts the load, and I feel like when you are hiring someone, it should lift your load and it should fill in your weak places. So they definitely do that. And I'm just, I am so grateful and just have so much anxiety taken off of me just having them here. I am a licensed architect. I went into fashion after getting my license. And so currently I don't practice architecture, but that's where my background is. And I don't regret that. I definitely think it helps, but having someone with fashion backgrounds is definitely helpful. And they wanted to work here. How did you find out about this job and why did you apply?
So I found out about this job through Indeed, and honestly through prayer, because I had prayed for something just like this a few days before I even saw the listing. I wanted something creative where I can be myself and express the gifts that I have, as opposed to being somewhere wishing I was expressing myself artistically. So when I saw the listing, I said, oh, I can do that. And it just seemed perfect. And it was just like, God was like, well, you asked, so here it is. I applied because I knew that what Angelina was asking for, I knew I can provide. And whatever I didn't know, I am always going to have the determination and the relentlessness to learn and be of service. That's another reason why I applied, because if you don't know how to be of service to another person, you'll never know how to lead successfully. And I never want to be stagnant in my gift and my purpose in life. So I trusted that this is a place that I could do great things, but also learn a lot.
This was early one morning too. I woke up, I'm like, I always get on Indeed and search like fashion designer or like whatever I was looking for. And it just popped up and I was like, hold on. And I literally sat down and I was just reading everything. Then I started watching the YouTube videos and I'm like, it was kind of crazy because I was praying, like Tiara said, I was praying. I'm like, I need a job that I actually like. Please, please, God. And then it just popped up, and then I was like, okay, let me apply. And then I'm like, I hope somebody called. And it was like a week, and I got the call. I was like, okay.
So how do you feel about working here so far?
It has not been a dull moment.
Yeah, I'd be actually happy to get up and go to work.
Yes.
It ain't like, oh my God, I gotta go to work. It's like, let me go to work.
Right. Like, I got things to sew, and I've never had that experience. I told my family, just like, I've never been somewhere where I was like, I like my job.
Yeah.
I've never been able to say that out loud. I'm just like, wait a minute. I don't feel that anxiety when I'm getting up. I don't be like, oh, Jesus, another day. I'd be like, oh, here I am. I'm in a reality that I prayed about. I haven't been here for that long, but I truly believe, I believe and feel like in my mind and my heart that us all coming together is what I call the potluck mentality, where we all come at our best. So it's a feast of greatness, so we all benefit and win from it. So
Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear from their responses. They said like they were actually praying for this type of job, and when they saw it pop up, they were just overjoyed and super excited. So that makes me feel like this work that I am doing has more purpose than just me doing it. And I know that I have so much purpose here on YouTube, but expanding that purpose is just so amazing to me. It's blowing my mind at this point. Why Hams Aloud wants to know, how does Blueprint Signature align with your goals, and what do you hope to get out of this job?
So Blueprint aligns my goals because I love design. I love to create. That is my thing. And I've never done a lot of upcycling, so it's a challenge as well. And I like to challenge myself because that's how you gain muscle in any kind of way. You challenge yourself. You go against what you know. You go above your comfort level. And I love the aspect of turning something of the past. I love things with history. So I love antique stores and thrift stores. So being able to give it a brand new life, I love that concept.
So I really believe in like sustainability. That's what I kind of like focused on in school. So like a lot of my assignments and projects had to do with like brands shifting to being more sustainable. So that's why I like the whole upcycling thing, because it's sustainable. So that's the kind of brand that I want to work for, and I think that a lot of companies in fashion brands should start shifting towards being more sustainable. Like, we don't want landfills of clothes in other people's land. Like, nobody wants that. It's not cute. Just fast fashion is like, I'm over it, and I think people should shift more towards like figuring out how you can make your own stuff, and like just learning how to use what you got to make what you want.
And you didn't say that you have a Depop shop.
Oh yeah, and I do Depop. My Depop account where I sell thrifted stuff, the stuff that I upcycle, and I literally just started 2 weeks ago, and I already got 11 sales. So yeah, it's my name, Keisha Parker.
Oh, and happy birthday to Keisha.
Gemini season.
Their goals and dreams are in fashion. You can see that they are invested in Blueprint Signature. They're invested in this brand. And I have no delusions that I'll be able to keep them forever or that they'll stay here forever. I know that they have their own dreams and goals, but I love the fact that they are still working on their own dreams and goals, as well as growing themselves and this business, and we're all doing it together. So that just is absolutely more than I could have asked for. And they roll with my punches. What's the craziest or most difficult thing I've had to do so far?
If we want to go back to tomorrow, I mean yesterday, not tomorrow, yesterday, yesterday, when we pulled out those flowers, that was pretty insane.
That's gonna be a journey for sure.
And then y'all tried to clown me.
Cause you made the flower in 2 seconds.
Right, Heather, I've never done it, and like Angela's a conference, I just be doing stuff, and then come up with like a whole couture flower, like.
And well, I just did this and this, and then
I know.
This took me forever, and it still don't look right. Why she got like a whole, you know, like
flowers.
Look at this secret garden she got going on. And we still over here just like a leaf. Right, struggling with just like a pile of fabric together.
On the bottom of mine, it's the leaves.
That's gonna be the base.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should just use it as the base.
Yeah.
And then just
yeah.
The pocket placement for the cargo skirts, because you have to position them a certain way so that they're aligned right. So when it's laying on the hips, it's not going like this, doing like a disco dance or whatever. You know that disco emoji like this? That's what the pockets was doing to me and Shell. So that was challenging. But
that was very challenging.
We're not quitters. We're gonna keep going until, and we don't want to let Angelina down. This is her brand, and we want to, you know, make it as perfect and as, you know, top quality as possible. So one thing y'all can trust is that when you order from here, like, it puts a lot of heart and soul and a lot of work and effort into what we do, so that when you get it, you didn't waste your money. You paying for good quality, so that not only do you buy once, you trust to come back again. So it's not just it looks good on you, it's made well, it's, you know, done well. And so if it's, you know, so we don't see something that's not right, we gonna make sure that it's right before you get it in your hands. So trust that.
And I can attest, because they're like, we go through something the first time, and I'll be like, okay, make sure you mention to do this and do this. I'll go back, and it's done. And I don't even have to say nothing. And I think you guys asked me, I think, Tiara, you asked me, like, what's your management style? And I kind of knew where you were going. Like, look, I don't micromanage. Like,
You say do this, and then next thing you know, you gone, and I'm like, Tiara.
if anything, I'm the opposite. I'm like, okay, this is what I want done, and I'll be back.
She was yesterday getting all the tea and not checking to see. She was just like, I trust y'all back there doing y'all job. She was collecting. Right. And honestly, because I've come from such toxic workplaces before, where it was heavy micromanagement to a point where you had to ask to use the bathroom, that this position makes me even more grateful for where I'm at, because showing me that you trust me to do what you hired me to do, you trust my ability to do great work, gives me the space and the peace of mind that I need to really work and be at my best and be in my zone, so that there is nothing to really combat or really nothing to correct, because it's all done right. So that freedom to just be at peace and be yourself and have that, because artists, creators, we need space. Mentally, emotionally, physically. We need space to be ourselves and expand whatever we have going on in our mind. So being able to have somebody that trusts us to do great work, but also we trust and we know we can go for them for guidance whenever we need the help, is something that I'll always be grateful for.
They roll with my crazy concoctions, the things that I ask them to do. I can tell at the look on their faces, they're like, okay. But as we go through it, they pick it up super quick and they just run with it. And they have experience in photo shoots as well as marketing. And like I said, they fill in my weak places. I haven't done a lot of photo shoots with models and sets and everything like that. And they both have experience in that. And they're super excited about it. We already have locations set up. They've been suggesting stuff for this coming drop. So I'm super excited and I could not be happier. I am so grateful. So this is from me to you, just saying, if you have imposter syndrome, if you are afraid of taking whatever next step it is, even if it's not hiring, whatever that next step is for you, take it from someone who has been there and is on continually walking, taking steps on the other side of those fears to go. If it's in your heart to do and you know this is the right time, go and use what you have around you. I know it doesn't seem like, you know, sometimes that we're ready, but I wanted to make this video because I use ChatGPT to fill in some of the places where I felt like I wasn't ready, and it worked. And I'm just so grateful that I didn't let anything stop me. So I'm encouraging you, don't let anything stop you. If you have something on your heart to do and you know this is the right time, go for it. Use things like AI, the AI tools, Canva, all of these things we have at our disposal here in 2023. It's just a great big world out here, and it is here for the taking for you to start your own business and do all of the things that you've been dreaming about doing. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in DIY and upcycling, remaking clothes, then definitely we have all the way from scissors only, no sew t-shirt videos, all the way up to the most amazing epic upcycles ever. So definitely check those out right here, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.
I love it. It has not been a dull moment.
Let's get into character.
It's never been a dull moment. I say